Hi, Ali Ackerman here again, reporting to you live from the 2011 Sales and Marketing Summit in New York City. With me now I have Lora Cecere, who's a partner with the Altimeter Group. She's also a thought leader and popular blogger in the consumer goods industry. And I'm just going to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
What trends are you seeing in the consumer goods industry around sales and marketing right now?
I think it's a fascinating time because we've gone through the Great Recession and people are now looking at global supply chains, and demand volatility is much higher in the emerging markets than people expected. So we're seeing the evolution of downstream data and modern trade and people using it. We've got the early adopters now going to mainstream, so we're crossing the chasm, and we're seeing the definition of downstream data and distributor networks where we have a greater bullwhip effect in China and India. I think we're also seeing the definition of sales and marketing teams for regional activity and how do we plan globally for regional execution, and those evolution of processes I think are very interesting. The other thing I think is just fascinating is the rise of social commerce and the ability that we can have a dialogue and listen to our customer in a way we've never been able to have that before. And it's also causing some disintermediation of the channel. So while in e-commerce we never really were comfortable selling directly to the shopper as manufacturers, we're seeing that in social commerce, that at the intersection of the social graph and the interest graph, it's not only okay, it's great. And we can listen to our shoppers and we can bring in the voice of our shoppers through the redefinition of customer service. So I'm quite excited. I'm seeing less energy in traditional applications like CRM, I think, is going to be totally redefined. I'm seeing less interest in traditional trade promotion, more looking at advanced analytics and insights than the traditional promotion. And I'm seeing more interest in new types of business intelligence versus traditional reporting. But I think it's a transition. Just like if we want to lose weight, we've got to go to the gym, we've got to look at what we eat. You know, when we look at social, I think we first have to think about what do we want our relationship with our shopper to be? And how do we redefine it? I think people are used to yelling at shoppers and e-commerce and online, but this is really about social, and we must be social first before we ask for a transaction. So social commerce is not an extension of e-commerce, and it's more than just an F word or Facebook. It's really how do we have a relationship in a different way, and how can social invigorate and give more knowledge to the shopper? And defining it that way is hard for a lot of marketing people. And also, we're not used to listening to our shopper, right? We say we want to be shopper and consumer-centric, but we're anything but. We're so busy yelling, right? We don't know how to listen. So, 3 things. How do we have a relationship? How do we listen? And then how do our marketing people become tech savvy? Get on Twitter, get on Facebook, see what's working, you know, experiment. This is not just something for Gen X and Gen Y.